Hey everybody, we're here to talk about the naked truth of automobile pawn loans. I'm Anthony, and let's get started. This is part one, by the way, because there's a lot of stuff that we can go over. It's in some areas it can be simple, other areas it can be information heavy. So we'll do this as a part one. We'll see how it goes.
Explain to me what an auto pawn is.
An auto pawn, basically, if you own a vehicle, and it doesn't have to be a car, it doesn't have to be a regular normal vehicle that you would drive on the road, but most commonly are automobiles, trucks, motorcycles, but then it gets into the the more rare type vehicles, work trucks, bread trucks, dump trailers, regular trailers, recreational vehicles, ATVs, jet skis, boats, etc. So starting an auto pawn, basically you have to be the owner. You have to have the ownership papers or title of the vehicle. And if it is a title, that title needs to be in your name. If it's not in your name and it's in someone else's, a spouse, relative, they're the ones that are actually making the loan. They can hand the money to you once they cash the check, but that title, if you have a title, must be in the same name as the loan that it's written on. I'm making it sound complicated, but it's not really. Basically, it just shows that if you're going to pawn something, you need to own that something.
So what do I need to do to get started? How long does it take?
If it's an average vehicle that you would see on the road, it can be very, very quick. I mean, people will call me. I said, man, come on down. Or if I'm having a busy day, I might make an appointment for them to come down. But normally, if somebody calls me and I can make time for them, bring the vehicle down right away. Bring your title, bring your ID, and we can get started. I do a quick evaluation of the vehicle. We go by the rough book value of the vehicle, rough book trade-in value of that vehicle. Some people, again, I'll do the quotation marks, some people, initially are like, man, I really needed X amount of money. I know the vehicle's worth so much, but I'm not buying the vehicle, or the pawn company is not buying the vehicle. They're giving you a loan on a small percentage of the rough book trade-in value of that vehicle. So let's say it's a really nice work truck or a really nice van, and it's worth rough book value 10 grand. The average pawn loan on that vehicle would be somewhere in the $3,000 to $3,500. If it's a really, really great condition and low mileage and extra equipment, could be worth more than that. But typically, it's 30%, 35% of the rough book trade-in value of that vehicle. Now, some people might ask, and you might be asking yourself right now, why so low? Well, it protects you, and it protects me or the pawn owner. And what I mean by that, protecting you, let's say you need 2 grand, but you borrow 5 grand. Did you need the 5 grand? No. You were originally looking for about 2 grand. So what are you going to do? You're already in a situation where you need money, and I give you, or the pawn shop gives you more money than you really need. Are you going to do the right thing with it? Are you going to be smart with it? Are you going to put it in the bank, set it aside, a rainy day? Are you going to use that money to pay the loan back? Typical pawn loans are a 30-day loan. The average I've seen anyway is 25% interest. So let's break it down even smaller. Let's say it's a $100 loan. 125 pays the loan off inside 30 days. You get your property back, your title back, and everybody's happy. You had the money when you needed it. You paid it back. It's an unsecured loan. We don't check credit. All we do is basically, make sure someone doesn't have a criminal record, and that you are who you say you are, and your title is clean. When I say title is clean, meaning there's no liens on it. There's no money owed on it. You don't owe $500 in traffic fees, for toll highways and things like that. And your title doesn't have a lien on it from a mechanic or a judgment the title is free and clear, and it's in your name.
Can I expect my car to be safe and my information to be secure?
Absolutely. As any legally titled pawn shop, they have security measures, they have safes, they have everything that you need to keep your information in one place secure, that nobody has access to it, nobody can utilize it or steal it or borrow it or copy it. It's all kept in the most secure environment that you can think of. Think of a small, independently owned bank, and that's what you're looking at with most pawn shops. As for the vehicle itself, whether it's a Lamborghini or a run-of-the-mill vehicle that you see thousands of on the highway any day, or a trailer or a boat or whatever it might be, it is kept under secure, locked conditions, under lock and key, under camera, like where I am. You have cameras that are audio sensitive, video sensitive, day and night. So it's protected as it possibly can be. And in some cases, could be, instead of just a gated area under camera, in some cases the vehicle could be in a locked storage container with double locks on it, again under camera and under a secure situation.
Explain how a title loan works. How is it different from others?
Now, I do have people call me almost on a daily basis. I offer pawn loans, and a lot of people offer pawn loans on the vehicles. Again, that's just like a pawn shop. You take that vehicle in, that item in, and the proof of ownership in. Paperwork is filled out. You get a check. This is actually, I didn't answer this earlier. You get a check normally within 35 minutes to an hour. From the beginning of when you first bring the vehicle in till you get a check, it's about 35 minutes to an hour on average. Where it can differ is if the vehicle is an exotic vehicle, for example, a high-end vehicle, a high-end motorcycle, a boat, a hydraulic trailer that's worth $20,000. The more uncommon the vehicle is, the more exotic the vehicle is, the longer the loan can take, because setting a value on it, and it's very much a partnership. The person that owns the vehicle and the pawn shop worker or manager or owner, they agree upon. They come together and say, okay, I need this much and I think I need that much, and you come to an agreement on what that loan might be. A title loan is a loan that you continue to use the vehicle. You continue to have the vehicle in your possession, but you have a loan against it, a loan against your title of the vehicle. And that limits it in some ways. It has to be a titled vehicle that has your name on it. It can't, like trailers or things like that, wouldn't really work. They don't really have titles per se. Also, small fact, in the state of Florida, title loans are not allowed in the state of Florida. Any title loan you get inside Florida, that company that you're dealing with has to use an outside company outside of Florida to do that title loan. Also, with most title loans, not all, I can't speak for all title companies, but the majority of them run a credit check. And that kind of defeats some of the purpose of a title loan or a pawn loan, because the beauty of it is there is no credit involved. With a pawn loan, they look more for stability. How long have you worked where you worked? How long have you lived where you lived? How long have you had the vehicle? How long have you had your bank account? Little things like that. And that's not a deal breaker. But with a title loan, it's a little more complicated because you get to keep the collateral. The collateral is not under lock and key. So it can be a longer process. Where in a pawn, you get a check normally within about an hour or less. With a title loan, it could take a day and a half or longer, and there's a lot of back and forth. Pictures of the car inside and out, pictures of the driver's license, the title, the license plate, etc., etc. Usually a checklist of anywhere from 14 to 19 items long. So there's a lot of back and forth and agreeing on a dollar amount, and then a check is normally overnighted or 2 days to you. So anyway, I think I've rattled on long enough for this one. Again, it's the first attempt at this. This is probably going to be part one. If you have any questions, reach out to me, and if I don't have the answer right away, I'll find out, and I'll give that information to you. So again, this was the naked truth on car pawn loans, or auto loans, auto pawn loans, blah blah blah. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.